23, 24, 25.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
I think 25 covers 24 and 20, 23 and 24. Very
23, 24. Okay, let's do that. Hmm. Okay, so let's start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
ओम
Namo
नमो
Bhagavate
भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
ओम
Namo
नमो
Bhagavate
भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम
Om
नमो
Namo
भगवते
Bhagavate
वासुदेवाय।
नामोच्चारण महात्म्यम हरेः पश्यत पुत्रका अजामिलोऽपि येनैव मृत्युपाशादमुच्यत. My dear servants who are so good as my sons, just see how glorious is the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. The greatly sinful Ajamil chanted only to call his son, not knowing that he was chanting the Lord's holy name. Nevertheless, the chanting the holy name of the Lord, he remembered Narayan, and thus he was immediately saved from the ropes of death.
Right.
Hmm. So there is no need to conduct research into significance of chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. The history of Ajamil is sufficient proof of the power of Lord's holy name and the exalted position of a person who chants the holy name incessantly. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised Hare Nam, Hare Nam eva kevalam, kalau nastyev gatir anyatha. So this is Agyat Sukriti. So this is like if one chants the name of the Lord unconsciously, he attains all benefits. But this is not applicable to us because we are all beyond that stage. We are now at the stage of, we are now at the stage of Namabhas. No, not Namabhas, we are at the stage of conscious chanting, Diksha chanting. So at this stage, if we think of Agyat Sukriti, we will commit offenses. So for us, for Ajamil, sins were completely eradicated. But for us, sins will not be eradicated. So we must consider conscious chanting of the holy name only. So Ajamil called the name of Narayan. So Mahaprabhu himself has said, Namna Makari Bahudha Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrarpita Niyamitaha Smarane Kala. एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैव ईदृशम इहाजनि नानुराग. Very interesting verse. So Namnamakari Bahudha Nija Sarvashaktis. So the Lord has invested all his potencies in all his names. Kali Kale Namarupi Krishna Avatar. Nam Hayate Hay Sarva Jagata Nistar. So when one is calling out to the Lord, knowingly or unknowingly, the Lord will reciprocate because Lord is most merciful. So therefore, this kind of chanting by Ajamil was fruitful. So that's why, like Mahaprabhu propagated the chanting of the holy names. This is why we do Sankirtan. Like Haridas Thakur explains that when we are chanting, the living entities that are mute, like in birds, insects, animals, trees, they cannot chant. They have no facility for chanting the holy name. But when we chant and they hear that holy name, that becomes their Agyat Sukriti. That advances their spiritual position. Therefore, chanting is important in this age of Kali. Okay, so any questions here? Okay, then text 24. एतावतालम अघ निर्हरण हरणाय पुंसाम संकीर्तनम भगवतो गुणकर्म नामना विकृष्य पुत्रम अघवान यदजामिलोपि नारायणेति म्रियमाण इयाय मुक्तिम. Therefore, it should be understood that one is easily relieved from all sinful reactions by chanting the holy name of the Lord and chanting his qualities and activities. This is the only process recommended for relief from sinful reactions. Even if one chants the holy name of the Lord with improper pronunciation, he will achieve relief from material bondage if he chants without offenses. There you go. The point has come already. Ajamil, for example, was extremely sinful, but while dying, he merely chanted the holy name. And although calling his son, he achieved complete liberation because he remembered the name of Narayan. In the assembly of Raghunath Das Goswami's father, Haridas Thakur confirmed that simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one is liberated, even if he does not chant completely inoffensively. Smartha Brahmanas and Mayavadis do not believe that one can achieve liberation in this way, but the truth of Haridas Thakur's statement is supported by many quotations from Srimad Bhagavatam. In his commentary on this verse, for example, Sridhar Swami gives the following quotation: Sayam pratar grana bhaktya dukha gramad vimuchyate. If one always chants the holy name of the Lord with great devotion in the evening and in the morning, one can become free from all material miseries.
Yeah.
Another quotation confirms that one can achieve liberation if one hears the holy name of the Lord constantly, every day, with great respect. Anudinam idam adarena shravanam. Another quotation says, Shravanam kirtanam dhyanam harer adbhuta karmana janma karma gunanam cha tadarthe akhila cheshtitam. One should always chant and hear about the extraordinarily wonderful activities of the Lord. One should meditate upon these activities and one should endeavor to please the Lord. Bhagavatam 11:327. Sridhar Swami also quotes from Puranas, Papakshayascha bhavati smaratam tamahar nisham. One can become free from all sinful reactions simply by remembering the lotus feet of the Lord day and night. Ahara nisham. Furthermore, he quotes from the Bhagavatam 6:331, Tasmat Sankirtanam Vishnor Jagan Mangalam Amhasam Mahatam Api Kauravya Vidya Ekantika Nishkritam. All these quotations prove that one who constantly engages in chanting and hearing of the holy activities, name, fame, and form of the Lord is liberated. As stated wonderfully in this verse, Etavatalam Agha Niraharanaya Pumsham. Simply by uttering the name of the Lord, one is freed from all sinful reactions. The word alam, which is used in this verse, indicates that simply uttering the holy name of the Lord is sufficient. This word is used with different imports. As stated in the Amar Kosh, the most authorized dictionary in the Sanskrit language, alam bhushana paryapti shakti varana vachakam. The word alam is used to mean ornament, sufficiency, power, and restraint. Here, the word alam is used to indicate that there is no need for any other process, for chanting of the holy name of the Lord is sufficient. Even if one chants imperfectly, one becomes free from all sinful reactions by chanting. This power of chanting of the holy name was proved by the liberation of Ajamil. Ajamil chanted the holy name of Narayan. He did not. He remembered his own. mm, when when Ajamil chanted the holy name of Narayan, he did not precisely remember the Supreme Lord. Instead, he remembered his own son. At the time of death, Ajamil certainly was not very clean. Indeed, he was famous as a great sinner. Furthermore, one's physiological condition is completely disturbed at the time of death. And in such an awkward condition, it would certainly have been very difficult for Ajamil to have chanted clearly. Nevertheless, Ajamil received liberation simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Therefore, what is to be said of those who are not as sinful as Ajamil? It is to be concluded that with a strong vow one should chant the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. For thus one will certainly be delivered from the clutches of Maya by the grace of Krishna. The chanting of Hare Krishna mantra is recommended even for persons who commit offenses, because if they continue chanting, they will gradually chant offenselessly. By chanting the Hare Krishna mantra without offenses, one increases his love for Krishna. As stated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prema Pumartho Mahan. One's main concern should be to increase one's attachment for the Supreme Personality of Godhead and to increase one's love for Him. In this regard, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur quotes the following verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 11:19-24. Evam dharmair manushyanam uddhavatmani vedinam mayi sanjayate bhakti ko anyo artho asya vashishyate. My dear Uddhav, the supreme religious system for human society is that by which one can awaken his dormant love for me. Commenting on this verse, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes the word bhakti by saying, Premaya vokta ko anya artha asya. In the presence of bhakti, what is the necessity for liberation? Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also quotes this verse from Padma Purana. Namaparadha yukta nam namanyeva harantyaham agam avishranti prayuktani tanyevartha karani cha. Even if in the beginning one chants the Hare Krishna mantra with offenses, one will become free from such offenses by chanting again and again. Papakshayas cha bhavati smaratam tamahar. One becomes free from all sinful reactions if one chants day and night, following the recommendations of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who quoted this verse: Harer Nam, Harer Nam eva kevalam, Kalo nastya 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 gatir anyatha. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is chanting the holy name of the Lord. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. If the members of the Krishna consciousness movement strictly follow this recommendation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, their position will always be secure. Hare Krishna. So, slightly long purport, but it's very simple. So, Srila Haridas Thakur established the fact that is chanting is the cause of liberation. Even if one is if one is like still chanting offensively, still one can achieve complete perfection, though it will take a long time.
Prabhuji, here only I think my point is here.
Yes, true.
Using the word, even if
Hmm.
chanting holy name of the Lord, one is liberated, even if he does not chant completely inoffensively.
Yeah.
So you can say, well, one side is saying even if he does not chant completely inoffensively.
So
It
we
should
have
be
to understand this logic.
either offensively it should be, or because subsequently another Acharya says, even if making mistakes, is perfectly all right. You chant it and subsequently improve about it. So kindly give me some guideline on it.
Yes, Prabhu. So if one is chanting inoffensively, one will immediately attain liberation.
Mhm.
So immediately one will attain liberation. From liberation, one will attain bhakti. Brahma bhuta prasanna atma na shochati na kankshati. Samah sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labhate param. One will attain bhakti after attaining liberation. Liberation means completely purified. After purification, one can easily do bhakti and then attain pure love, like Ajamil himself did. But if one is offensive in his chanting, breaking the 10 regulatory principles, one will attain liberation after a long duration. The holy name of Vishnu is like fire. So fire means if there is no garbage, fire will burn immediately. If there is a lot of garbage, fire will take time to burn. So, offensive chanting of Krishna will purify gradually. Inoffensive chanting will liberate immediately.
Correct. I got it.
Okay.
Yes, okay.
So point is like, whatever you do, just keep chanting. Like this Prabhupada, like when he was in US, some people came, they were drunkards. They wanted to chant, so Prabhupada encouraged them to chant. And then they were completely unable to give up alcohol. So Prabhupada said that at least you offer alcohol to Krishna before drinking. At least you will develop a mood of service to Krishna.
Correct. Good. Well, Prabhupada can do this.
Yena kena prakarena. Somehow or the other take shelter of Krishna. Akama sarvo kamava. Moksha kam udaradhi tivrena bhakti yogena yeta purusha param. So sarva kamava. Sarva kam means all kinds of lusty desires. So all sinful desires. And if one has already come to a bona fide spiritual master and is still having lusty desires, then one is offensive. But the Acharya will still recommend chanting of holy names only. Yes, so anyone else has any questions or comments here? This purport is really quite simple.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dangat Pranam. Prabhuji, can Prabhupada said such a thing, but can we say such a thing to people?
If you are
Like if
willing
you
to take
want
if you are willing to take their karma, you can say that.
because
So on a serious note, uh, you should discourage. But if someone is like truly, truly, completely helpless, then we have to help him advance. Like I was just reading one item yesterday, one very interesting incident in the life of Prabhupada. There was one devotee, one disciple of Prabhupada, who was actually a drug addict. Used to be like he was taking drugs and all, and he was arrested. So he was given this like punishment. So like he came to Prabhupada, and after that he surrendered to the court. So the court, like this was in California, so the court ordered him 3 years imprisonment. And this devotee was like horrified. 3 years without Prabhupada was like unimaginable for him. So he came to Prabhupada. So the court was lenient. The court said, okay, since you are honest and you have come yourself to the court, you tell us which time you want to go to the prison. When do you want to serve the, like you can have some freedom before you go to jail. So he said, okay, like I just want to like meet my spiritual master, then I'll come back. So he was given a permission for a week or so. So this devotee flew to New York immediately and went to meet Prabhupada straight away. And there he met Prabhupada. He like prostrated himself and he spoke. He said, Prabhupada, like this is the case. Now I have to go to jail, but I want to like completely give up my past life before I come to you. So Prabhupada called him nearby, close to him, and then he rubbed his head and he laughed. He said, don't worry. You are so honest and clean. You are purified. Don't worry. Krishna, Krishna knows you. You will be released soon. And he said, Prabhupada, like in jail, they don't serve vegetarian food. Prabhupada said, don't worry, Krishna will do something for you. So this devotee went to jail. And in jail, like he was there in the jail and he didn't have to eat meat because all the other prisoners were happy to, exchange their vegetables for his meat. And after 1 week, he was called by the jailer. He said, you are a pious man, you are a holy man, so you don't need to serve the prison, you are free.
But he was in prison for what?
Drug dealing.
Okay.
So you see. So in that case, like imagine a drug dealer going to jail and Prabhupada saying, don't worry, Krishna is still looking after you. So you see, of course, we are not in that position. If you ask me something, you say, if you tell me that you want to take whiskey and you ask me, I cannot say that, because I don't know Krishna.
So,
Prabhupada could
Prabhuji, I
see.
knew of a devotee whose wife was not a devotee, and she was very insistent that she will not cook without onion garlic. So then that devotee said, okay, it's okay, you cook with onion garlic, but still offer to the Lord. So can we tell people to do such things?
We cannot. I mean, if someone is addicted, like, in case of like Prabhupada's disciples, they were in a terrible position, like totally terrible position. Completely addicted to breaking all four regulative principles. So Prabhupada made leniences, like he gave some allowances. But it's not, we hear these stray cases, like the one incident which I told you, it was a stray incident. Most of the others went to jail and they remained jailbirds only, they became criminals only. So not that it happened with everyone. We need to be very careful. Prabhupada said, I am suffering so much because my disciples are sinful. So now this is a very logical point, again made by one of disciples of Prabhupada only. He says, like, the question was, does a Shiksha Guru take karma? So he argued, he said, yes, very much. You are stopping a sinful person. Where will that karma go? You are initiating someone into chanting of holy names. Where is that coming from? You have to create his credentials. So therefore, when we make allowances in bhakti, we are accommodating their sinful karmas. So,
but since Krishna knows the intention of such a guru and the disciple also, he can easily wipe away that karma. Now, why does it have to go anywhere?
So that people don't take this process cheaply. Some karma will come. See, we don't know our own desires. We don't know our own consciousness. Suppose tomorrow I get the power of Jesus Christ and I start going and delivering people. A person like me will become proud within 2 days. Wow, like, I am God. I'll start delivering everyone, and Krishna will realize that this man is just a low class rascal. So that's why he gives this portion of karma. Okay, you taught someone to chant the holy name, now you get some viral fever. So when you suffer, then you think, okay, no, this is like dangerous. I can't digest so much karma. So that person probably, deserved to die of some interstitial lung disease or something. Krishna only gave me some minor bronchitis because I had taken his karma for him to chant. So we should be very careful. This token karma will come even to liberated acharyas. just so that no one takes it cheaply. Because right now I might be pretending to be all honest or something, or I might actually be honest at this stage. But I am so contaminated that I don't know whether tomorrow I'll remain honest or not. I may become proud of this power given by Krishna. Therefore, Krishna puts this check and balance system there. Okay, you are giving the holy name, you will suffer something.
And that will demotivate so many people from actually giving the holy name to someone.
Yes, then they are not sincere. Now, that is a very interesting point that you raise. We are not doing this for our own convenience. I'm not getting a kick out of seeing 14 participants in this meeting. No, I am thrilled. No, this is a service I have to do. So if all 14 people turn sinful and I have to take their karma, and if Krishna orders, then I must do it. It is for the pleasure of Krishna we are doing this preaching. That is also a test of our devotion. Are we afraid? Some sin will come, so I'll not preach.
Like, how can we turn sinful now?
No, I'm just giving theoretical example. Because when a spiritual master preaches, there will be sinful disciples only. Kali means everyone is sinful.
Yes.
Yeah, so if one is like becoming a guru, Amara Agya Hai Guru Tara Hai Desh. So if one goes to preach, one will have to suffer. Preaching means suffering. People will insult you, they will hate you, people will put you to suffering. Jesus Christ suffered. Srila Prabhupada suffered. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Everyone was it's not that everyone followed Mahaprabhu. So suffering will always be there. Are we willing to take it voluntarily for Krishna? That is the test of our devotion. Or are we devotees of convenience? Okay, I'll be a devotee so long as it is nice and fine. But when there is a difficulty, let me go. I'll worship Durga. So that is also a test of our devotion. Are we willing to take that sacrifice for Krishna? And Krishna will give that suffering.
So that is why a guru rejects a disciple who doesn't really listen to him or follow his instruction.
Yeah, why unnecessarily take suffering for someone who's third class? Why, if the car is not working, why should I keep pouring petrol into it? What is the use? I'm wasting time on someone who is not going to be a devotee. So why waste time? So reject the disciple. If the disciple is sincere and sinful, that means he's trying and he's still sinful, then it's okay. Then the guru will accept. But if a disciple is outright offensive, useless, doesn't do anything also, why should a devotee unnecessarily suffer him? Yes, Reshma Mataji, you also have a question.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, here in the purport it's written about chanting day and night. If one chants day and night. So then, Prabhuji, is this only about chanting on the beats, or like how will we say about it?
In Gaudiya Math, for brahmacharis and sannyasis, there was not even a fixed number of rounds. Brahmachari could chant 192 rounds, brahmachari could chant 1 round. All okay. Prabhupada gave 16 rounds because we were like especially third class. So he said, okay, at least do this much.
Yeah. So like after chanting our prescribed number of rounds, 16 or whatever one has decided. So then after that, like sometimes what happens is we hear some kirtan or we hear some bhajan and we are chanting, in our mind it's just going on like. So is that considered chanting or like what?
Yeah. See, mad manabhav mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Always think of me. Now, if you're driving a car or if you're cooking some food, how can you chant on your beats? So you can chant. Okay, that is completely all right. Now, but one thing to remember here is then you should hear from bona fide sources. Like if you are hearing to like some Janvi Harrison or something, then you will not really progress much. That kind of hearing is not going to be very helpful to you. You should hear bona fide.
Many people are hearing only this Madhavas and Janvi Harrison and all.
What is it, Janvi Harrison? What is the use? She has boyfriends and she's like a feminist. These Madhavas are into some financial scam. So what is the use of hearing such Harinam? That's bogus,
Right.
Now I'll tell you something really mind-blowing, like something really radical. Like Prabhupada, what does Prabhupada say? Prabhupada says, oh, these people, John Lennon, George Harrison, all fourth class men. But what to do? The society only worships these kind of people. So we have to use them for preaching. So it's not that Prabhupada considered George Harrison some acharya or something. Prabhupada considered him a useful person. Yes, he was a nice person, but not that he was acharya or anything. And after Prabhupada left, then George Harrison had like 3 girlfriends, 4 girlfriends, so many affairs. He was smoking cigarettes. He was doing so many nasty things. Yes, he propagated the holy name of the Lord, and Srila Prabhupada remembered that. Krishna would also always remember that. But like Buddha is Krishna, but we don't follow him. Shankaracharya is Lord Shiva, we don't follow. So
So
these
Prabhuji,
are nice
those
personalities.
who must be hearing these band and all, they will have no effect on them at all,
Yeah,
even though it is holy.
they'll become attracted to illicit sex.
No, but the name, holy name, that would also not have any effect.
No, that is, that milk flushed by the lips of a serpent.
Oh, that.
Mahaprabhu himself is saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Holy name is there, like, sweet milk mixed with poison. You're a dentist, that liquid which you use to clean the root canal.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if it spills on the tongue or something?
Yeah, it's very caustic. Yeah.
You must have seen the complications.
Yes.
That's actually a liquid which is helping the patient. It's cleaning him. But if it goes in the wrong place, it's gone. The patient will be in terrible suffering.
Here, no, Prabhuji, in this temple, I have seen, means Nigri temple, most of the people are hearing January Harrison and these Madhavas.
Okay, I'll send you
Whatever
some
say,
Prabhupada's Kirtans. I'll send you lots of Prabhupada's and Vishnujan Swami's Kirtans. You listen to those. You'll really go into ecstasy hearing those. There was
okay.
one Kirtan where Vishnujan Swami started singing, and I mean, that Kirtan became so ecstatic that in between, Srila Prabhupada himself jumped in. And the crowd went wild. And there, hearing that music itself, you can realize what ecstasy in Kirtan really means. When
Sure,
Prabhupada
thank
in 1977, Prabhupada went to London. That was his last visit ever, kind of. So Prabhupada was very sick. Actually, Prabhupada was supposed to go to New York, but his health was so poor that he could only go up to London. And when he went to London, this was Radha London Ishwar, and Prabhupada could not sing. He was very weak. So they started a kirtan in the honor of Srila Prabhupada. That kirtan went on for 8 hours continuously, dancing kirtan. That is kirtan, Not that after kirtan I want to eat some puri, chapati, something, and I'm hungry, I want to sleep for some time. Kirtan should be such that you should forget your body altogether. Kirtan is the divine ecstasy that the soul feels on hearing the holy name of the Lord. It's not music, nice guitar, nice drums, and some nice female voice. No, that's bodily. That's just mental and bodily. That'll make us lusty. If you hear Vishnujan Swami, like you hear that, you can actually feel that bhav. Prabhupada used to say that when I hear Vishnujan, I actually feel, and I can actually perceive Vaikunt. And Vishnujan Swami was not exactly a fantastic musician. If you hear him, he's not able to pronounce Harinam very properly, but he's singing. But Prabhupada used to love his singing. And not that like he was always like this. Prabhupada used to chastise him also. Why are you spoiling my mission by chanting Ramo Ramo? So you see, there are standards. I'm sorry, like, I'm very blunt, Let me live up to my reputation. I'll send you some kirtans. Don't worry, I have your number. I'll send you some kirtans. You listen to those, and you'll feel that ecstasy. You'll realize what spiritual ecstasy really means.
Or you can put on the group.
Yeah, probably you can put on the group. Everyone can.
Yeah, I'll put all these kirtans. Plus, there are some kirtans from Mayapur also. Some brahmacharis, very old bhajans of Mahaprabhu. Very nice. These brahmacharis are really singing with feeling, and you can actually feel that vibration.
Okay.
These are proper recorded with music and all studio kirtans. so people will enjoy music also. I'll put all of these.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very good.
Yes, Anu Mataji, you have a question also? Oh, well, I didn't give you chanting, Srila Prabhupada gave. So it's Prabhupada's order, Prabhupada's mission. I am just passing the message, so I'm not too worried really.
And my mother's throat is very bad.
Yeah, so
I
we should
appreciate
see.
the dedication yesterday with all those trouble. Sister wanted to listen to the Bhagavatam.
Yeah, she's very sick also. Oh,
Very sick.
we'll pray. We'll all pray together. So, yes, so you see, so we should preach, Prabhupada says we are postmen. We are the postmen of Acharyas. Srila Prabhupada never said that I am preaching. He said, I am carrying the message of my spiritual master. In fact, today I was reading one of Prabhupada's lectures and he was saying, actually, the spiritual master consider all his disciples to be his spiritual masters. So point is like this, that we are carrying the mercy of the Lord coming through the spiritual master and we are just passing it on. Our only credit is that we are the messenger. Our only credit is that we have taken the effort. But the credit for purification, the credit for ecstasy of divine love, that is not ours. It is coming from Krishna, coming through the acharyas and passing onwards. We are only the message carriers. So if we want to be glorious in this mission, we should be honest. Pass it on. We are sinful. We are completely sinful. But if we are able to pass this message on, even if a pipe is broken, at least some water will pass through.
Yeah, sure.
Like they say, Hathi mara bhi lakh ka sawa lakh. Even a dead elephant is worth 1 lakh. So let's be that dead elephant at least. So pass on this message. Don't worry about what sin will come or not. Some will come. Some suffering will come. But it's all right. That is our purification. Krishna is doing so many things simultaneously. He's defeating our false ego. He's also purifying us of our own sinful karma. So that's completely all right. So no need to worry. Just preach as it is. By preaching, you become very dear to the spiritual master. You become very dear to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that's why we preach. We don't preach for preaching the glories because we know the glories. I mean, we know nothing really. We preach because by preaching these glories, Mahaprabhu becomes pleased. And then one day we will actually see these glories of the Lord. We are seeing it actually, but just we are a bit too blind to appreciate it. Yes, Santosh Prabhu, आपका भी कुछ प्रश्न है?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी. Like there are a preacher will get the reaction which is this reaction is been arranged by Krishna to take the responsibility of the devotee. Suppose Guru is getting the some reaction is coming to the Guru, Siksha Guru or whoever, or to the preacher. So is this arrangement is to ensure that Guru, whoever accepted the disciple, to take care of his disciple properly?
Well, the Guru has already taken the disciple. The Guru has already taken the disciple. So if he's a Guru, of course, there is no question of him abandoning the disciple ever. But the point here is that, those who are imitating a Guru, they will become discouraged when they see this. They'll feel, oh my goodness, this is dangerous. So that is one thing. Sahajiyas will be discouraged. Another thing is, Krishna says, Aham tvama sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. So Krishna is taking all the sinful reactions. Krishna is not saying, Aham tvama sarva papebhyo vinashyati. No, mokshayishyami. I am delivering you from those sins. I am accepting those sins. So when Guru, Amara Agya Hai Guru, so Krishna is also saying, Amara Agya Hai Guru. You take, by my order, you become a Guru. So Guru is accepting disciple on behalf of Krishna That means Guru is also delivering moksha on behalf of Krishna. That means Guru is also taking karma on behalf of Krishna. Of course, Krishna is unlimited, so he can take unlimited karma. Guru is limited, he can take limited karma. And when we are like infinitesimally limited, like us, and when we are trying to serve the spiritual master, then we also take infinitesimal karma. But karma will definitely come. I am picking up someone and connecting him to Prabhupada. So, I mean, what kind of a gentleman is that who will think, okay, let my spiritual master suffer? So, I would also want to take a part of that suffering so that Prabhupada doesn't suffer so much. So, that's a gentlemanly thing, like he's my father. My father has taken so much trouble for me. I should also take some trouble for my father if that pleases him. So, why not? It is painful, not pleasant at all, but it is duty. Soldier also goes to the field. He may die, he may get injured, he may become maimed forever, but he takes that. That's the responsibility he has taken. So the devotee also takes responsibility. It's unpleasant. It's not pleasant at all. Soldiers who are guarding the borders in deserts and mountains, they are not happy at all. It's not a happy place to be. But there's a sense of responsibility, a duty. We do our duty. It doesn't matter. We have to do our duty, whether we live at home or we live at the border. Everyone has to do the duty. So we do the duty. That's why soldiers are so respected. Because he's taking extraordinary duty. He's taking extra suffering for the rest of the people. So a guru takes that suffering for Krishna, for his own spiritual master.
And Prabhuji, what about those who are currently doing motivational preaching? Motivational speakers in ISKCONs and
cheating business. That's cheating business. Why should I motivate you? Motivate you to do what? To engage in karma? Motivate you to ahar nidra bhai maithun? Motivate you to go and jump into janma mrityu jara vyadi? What is janma? What is this? एधन यौवन पुत्र परिजन इथे की आछे परतीति रे कमल दल जल जीवन टलमल भजहु हरिपद नीति रे. So what am I motivating you for? My motivation should be to make you chant Krishna more and more. If I motivate you to become the best hospital worker or best doctor, best engineer, I am just pushing you into the mouth of death. I'm not a guru, I am Guru.
So they will get also tremendous reaction.
They will get extra reaction. Yamraj will have a special apartment for them. A 5-star. Look will be 5-star treatment for them. Because they took the position of a guru. If I go and start cheating everything, like if I start going and motivating people, nothing will happen. I'll get some minor sinful reaction. Some Yamraj will slap me, maybe kick me. But if I take the robe of a guru and then I start preaching that nonsense, then Krishna will be very angry. Lord Shiva will personally come to collect my soul. Okay, come, little rascal. Let us see.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Got
it. Yes. Sorry, we couldn't do new verse today. Tomorrow we'll continue from 25. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And I'll put up those bhajans and kirtans. I mean, I have put them up earlier 2-3 years ago. I'll put them up again for the benefit of everyone. Okay, so thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
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 Prabhuji,
Thank you, Prabhuji.